As our witnesses have testified, with the passage of the Patient Protection and Affordable Care Act, the need for a permanent government-wide prohibition on taxpayer funding for abortion has probably never been more important. Sadly, Congress last year traded in 30 years of statutory protections for taxpayers for a piece of paper signed by the most pro-abortion president since Roe v. Wade. And the need to pass this legislation, I believe, is self-evident when we think about the extraordinary subsidies, both direct and indirect, in the Patient Protection and Affordable Care Act for abortion across government spending. Let me say, I also think now is the time to end taxpayer funding not only for abortion, but also for abortion providers. That's why I've authored a bill, the Title X Abortion Provider Prohibition Act, that would end all Title X family planning funding to abortion providers. Specifically, Planned Parenthood is sadly back in the news today. A new undercover video has been released showing multiple violations by Planned Parenthood employees in New York, to go along with scandalous videos from Planned Parenthood clinics in New Jersey and Virginia. The videos show Planned Parenthood employees presumably advising an undercover sex trafficker on how to secure secret abortions, STD testing, and contraception for child prostitutes. And I just have to tell you, Mr. Chairman, as the father of 2 teenage girls, I cannot be dispassionate about video evidence of individuals facilitating the abuse of minor young women in this way. We've introduced this legislation, and I'm, along with HR3, I hope the Congress will take up the Title X Abortion Provider Prohibition Act. Planned Parenthood received over $363 million in taxpayer dollars, principally through Title X, and in 2008 alone they performed 324,008 abortions. With more than 1 million abortions performed annually in this country, abortion is a heartbreaking billion-dollar industry that mostly benefits Planned Parenthood. Planned Parenthood is far and away the largest abortion provider in America, and they are also the largest recipient of federal funding under Title X, and I believe the time has come for that to end. With that said, let me direct a question to Mrs. Ruse, whose testimony I found compelling, as I do appreciate her leadership on this issue across the country. You spoke about the CBO projection that without the protections of this legislation, there could be as many as 675,000 government-financed abortions in this country. With this growing video record of Planned Parenthood employees, is there any doubt in your mind that Planned Parenthood would be the largest recipient of abortion support if HR3 was not enacted into law? And I guess my specific question, Mrs. Ruse, is if we do not succeed in passing HR3 and banning public funding of abortion across government systems broadly, would that not be a windfall specifically for Planned Parenthood?
I think the word windfall is accurate. Last year, Planned Parenthood committed 324,008 abortions in the United States of America. If you open the doors to federal funding, federal subsidies of abortion in the way that Obamacare will do it, there's no question that the chief recipient of those funds will be Planned Parenthood, who is showing itself to be internally corrupt and unable to handle their finances at a minimum, given what we know what's happening in California. And more than that, aiding and abetting in the abuse of minors as these videos come out one after another. And incidentally, those who try to minimize Planned Parenthood's the expose on Planned Parenthood as a single situation or one bad egg, I just want to remind this committee that these videos, these undercover videos, have been coming out for the last 4 years. They haven't gotten as much play as those recently. and come from over 10 states, Alabama, Indiana, New Jersey, New York, Virginia. Suggests that there is a system-wide problem with Planned Parenthood and that they do not deserve $1 million a day of taxpayer dollars.